Let's welcome to the stage your first squad, the Boston Uprising! If you're looking for a stacked team, well, let me present you the Boston Uprising. Between them, they've won several Overwatch League championships. Birdring in 2018, Smurf in 2019, Twilight and Smurf on the San Francisco Shock in 2020. Lee Jae-gon and Isayaki, of course, on the Shanghai Dragons. Like I said, multiple role stars on this roster. Really, they are a true powerhouse. They're juggernaut here in this year's playoffs. And their opponents, the Florida Mayhem!
If you're looking for previous championships, you won't find any here, but that's what makes this squad so incredibly dangerous. They are hungry, they are out for blood. They're not looking to win next year, the year after. They're looking to win right now. This is their moment, and to be the favorites against the squad sitting across from them just reflects the incredible level of accomplishment that this team has achieved so far.
All right. We already got one team that's going to be going to the grand finals, but it's now time to figure out who is going to join the Houston Outlaws. Is it going to be the Boston Uprising? Or will it be the Florida Mayhem? Oh, let's try that again. Is it the Boston Uprising? The Florida Mayhem? Oh boy, it's a partisan crowd here on the floor, but it's time to jump into the action and find out who's going to the grand finals to play. It's going to be Avril and Achilleos on the horn.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. Yes, here we are once again to see who is going to be joining the Outlaws in that grand final. Florida Mayhem riding hot, someone picking up his accolades earlier here today. Can he get one step closer to the ultimate accolade, that trophy, or will Boston Uprising, with all of their veterancy, be able to shut them down?
Boston Uprising, a team that came in so strong in the 2023 season, one of the most stacked rosters, full of veterans, rings across the board. We looked at this team and saw champions, literally, so many members that have taken titles before up against the Florida Mayhem, a new squad, a lot of rookies, a lot of new players, one of the only veterans on this team, and now an MVP player as well, the 2023 MVP.
Mayhem coming in as that higher seeded squad. I'd like to take us over to Busan for our first map, and who knows how many we are going to have in this series. I, for one, want to see this one go the distance. Toronto, do you agree? Are you ready for some Overwatch? That's what I like to hear, and I hope I'm going to be hearing plenty more of it as we go through this series. Let's see where we head. It's going to be Mecha Base to kick things off. One of these teams getting ready to take their first step in this set to be into that grand final, to be inches away from the trophy.
First time top four for both of our squads. Boston Uprising, 5th and 6th in 2018 playoffs. Florida Mayhem last year made 7th and 8th, and now both fighting for the potential of heading to a grand final, first time grand final for any of our four teams. Houston Outlaws already locked in. Seeing who their opponents are going to be between Boston and Florida, two similar teams playing similar things. We saw someone in the Sigma yesterday. He's going to bring it out again. Let's kick it off. Mecha Base. Here we go. Smurf coming through the ramp.
And with the crowd countdown, the gates have opened. Let's go. The Ramatra, not something that we've been seeing a ton of here across the weekend. A different look for the side of the Boston Uprising. Someone going to be back over here onto the Sigma. The fight already breaking out. Decay down to a sliver of HP. Goes into the ice block, managing to stay alive. And Smurf tries to push forward. Nemesis form now going to be popped. The fist come raised out, but Merit is looking to shove him back. Mortality Field will keep him alive for the time being here, but he's down to a sliver, and suddenly he will fall. Checkmate finds the kill. The floodgates have been opened up. Birdring able to find one on the back end, but the rest of the team is going to be falling to the wayside as the team kill comes across. Florida Mayhem win the opening volley, and they get first cap.
Boston Uprising coming through with a Ramatra composition, something we haven't really seen so far in this playoffs, on this patch, or even the previous one. We saw a lot of Orisa, we saw them play the dive. What was going to be the answer to the Sig? It seems like Sigma, whether you're looking at Bernard on the Houston Outlaws team or Florida Mayhem, now someone playing the Sig as well. This seems to be the tank so far to get into the finals.
All right, well, once more into the breach here go the Boston Uprising. The wall comes up from Checkmate, however, they're trying to cut them off. They're trying to get in on top of Marin, but they just cannot do so. Smurf not able to stay alive. Lee Jae-gon diving for it, does manage to find the Bastion. bit of an opener, but now that front line broken down. Who can lead the way here for the side of the Uprising as they wait for that Vermacho to rejoin? Point is still going to be ticking up. Florida Mayhem now getting ready to crest over 40%. Boston need to make something happen here pretty damn soon. People ready. Con dropping that one in. Chorong now has his to match. Drops it through. Immortality Field going to be cleared out. And again, it's Smurf falling right at the start of the fight. Decay now joining him in the respawn room. The cleanup continues as Chorong finds two. Finds a third as the Colosseo. The bloodthirsty support gets the team kill. And once again, Boston Uprising have to go again.
And to wait a little bit longer for RuPaul and the rest of Florida Mayhem to find those ultimates. They find them good at the right time. Birdring even with the photon barrier, not enough to keep Florida at bay. Flux ready to go for someone here. Blizzard, Decay dies at 99 in the last fight. We'll be heading towards that last fight territory very soon. Cresting over the 70% mark. Florida Mayhem, one-sided so far. They haven't lost anything.
Some turrets through the teleport, a bit quickly dealt with. Now the Flux going to be popped. Someone getting the double catch, pulls them up here into the sky, but the Immortality Field is down to the ground to try to get the catch, try to save their lives, and so far it's working a treat. Merit's going to be frozen up, but similarly RuPaul there to try to keep him protected. Down so very low, but it can't quite kill up the bot. Checkmate Chorong, however, going to be falling. Merit now continuing to get whittled away at, tries to push some damage across, trying to clear this point where the flip is getting ready to come through to the side of the Boston Uprising, and now Izayaki going to be dead on the back end. Lee gone so very low, but as the kills continue to come across, Smurf gets rid of so much damage as Merit gets eliminated. The sound barrier going to be dropped in, shielding up onto 3. Wall raised for a brief little moment, the window's still there. Decay trying to play out in front of him, but he gets cut down to size. Checkmate finds the kill, the OT going to start bleeding away very rapidly. The Annihilation finally built up, does get popped, but it's not going to last very long, it would seem. Smurf trying desperately to keep himself in this fight. Mortality Field across, and somehow they haven't managed to kill him off, but right as I say it, someone scoops the kill, they clear the point, and the first round goes the way of the Florida Mayhem.
Smurf waited a long time to pop the Annihilation. Personally, I'm looking over towards Lee J-Gun as well. Sound Barrier Annihilation at the same time would have been a really good combo. The Boston Uprising struggling to close the gap, get Smurf into melee range for that Annihilation to actually have effect. Izayaki dying prior to that as well, with window available. That is a critical loss for the Boston Uprising in what was coming up to be the final fight.
Well, first round locked in. Let's go into Sanctuary. We can see already the adjustments being made for the side of Boston. Not going to be seeing that Ram off the rip.
Yeah, well,
flashing the Queen.
Just a single round experiment coming through from Boston. Junker Queen going to be the other option here. Unlikely that Boston would want to match the Sigma. Smurf can play it. Not expecting Kalios to get subbed in today. Orisa, not a good matchup into the Sig either. So let's see if the Junker Queen is going to end up being enough. A lot of speed required here.
They have it in droves. Still closing the gap, trying to get on top of Florida Mayhem. They are playing elusively, and even then, if you can get on top of them, I think they're pretty happy to play up close and personal as we were seeing across that last round.
It's all about the TPs.
Opening neutral, coming across here, just spamming out some of these shots with the Symmetra charge. Right clicks, now the TP forward. The Axe comes out, looking for Merit. Immortality Field already going to be placed for ball, trying to keep him alive. It ends up getting cleared, but Merit answers back, finds Izayaki on the opposite side, finds the K for the double up, and now looks for more. Smurf taken down, Merit will get 3 in the fight, and once again, Florida Mayhem get a team kill, get first cap.
Protect the Prison here. The Prison is going to be the Bastion. Merit needs to stay alive in these fights, absorb the pressure of the TPs, and once the commanding shout is used, once the Carnage is in there, Boston Uprising, they have to delete Merit fast, or it's not going to happen. The Bastion is going to end up ripping through this Junker Queen squad.
Crowd encouraging them forward here on the side of the Florida Mayhem. RuPaul under a little bit of fire there. Immortality Field's going to be exchanged on either side. Windows set up, but not really able to play around this one. Or the Boston Uprising is Decay. Gets chunked down low. Cretion hitting him. Pushes up over the top. Now the artillery. They are very much contained here. Smurf going to be the one getting caught. Gets dropped down. The Flux will kill. And so too will Checkmate, cleaning up both the DPS lineup here for the side of the Boston Uprising. And this volley, it's a reset, it's a stagger. Izayaki, he is in hell. Florida Mayhem taking their time releasing him from this prison. Absolute brutality.
And the only way you get out of that situation with the Flux artillery combos, you need Birdring to have a TP available. Florida Mayhem taking a lot of time off the clock for Boston Uprising. Looking like they might even want to head over towards spawn. Have to be a little bit careful though. You have to give yourself room to back away. Absorb the TP from Birdring. This time Photon Barrier will be available. RuPaul with the counter ready to go.
Final fight territory here for the side of the Florida Mayhem. Win this one, win the map. Start things 1-0. Boston Uprising need to gain control. They need to carry it all the way up to 100%.
That's a weird
this
wall.
one, but now, okay, Photon Barrier does come in. Birdring chunked out. Legion God drops the beat just in time to try to keep him alive. But he's zoned away. The Blizzard keeps this Genji at bay. And Decay is getting absolutely nothing. Florida Mayhem grind them into a fine paste as we tick up to 100% and get the 2-0 here on Busan.
DJ Ghani knows what's happening here, accepts his fate. A rampage not even to be used by Smurf, and it is one-sided on an opening map of Busan. And unfortunately, the Photon Barrier, it just does not cover the window dropped by RuPaul. Weirdly placed Photon Barrier from Birdring. Window from RuPaul absolutely does the damage, and once more, you don't see Boston Uprising successfully close the gap into Merit. They just can't take Merit down.
No, they cannot, and what a way to start things off here. A message being sent by the Florida Mayhem saying we might not have all of the role stars here on this squad, but we've got the Dennis Abelko Award winner, we've got the MVP for the season, and we have got the trophy in our sights. That is step one taken. 2 more to go if they want to deliver another dominant showing. Not drop a map on the road into the grand final.
We started out with this Ramacha type composition, which again, it's rare. We haven't seen this so far in the second half of the year. Not much anyway, certainly not towards the knockouts plans or now the playoffs. And for the Boston Uprising, they know what they're up against. They know that they have to take down the Someone Sigma, and that's only phase 1. You have to look at Florida Mayhem like a raid boss, and there's multiple phases, multiple forms. You beat the Sigma, there's still a Rhine to back that up. You beat the Rhine, there's still the dive heroes. There's still Orisa, so many things that someone can bring to him. I mean, this is why he's the MVP. He has the flexibility. I mean, so does Smurf, but it just seems like Boston Uprising, they're the ones that are forced to find the answer here. Mayhem, seems like they already have the answer.
I mean, we saw in Mayhem's last series, completely and utterly willing to make adjustments when necessary. To this time, right here at the start of the series, no adjustments necessary whatsoever. Did not get pushed onto any other picks. They ran with what they were comfortable with out the gate, and they made it look damn good. So that puts that much more pressure on the Boston Uprising, and it looks like they are going to be electing to take us over to Midtown to try to get themselves a map win on the board.
Looking for something flat where they can TP across. I mean, the Junker Queen could still come back, but maybe it's time to bring the Rhine out. Rhine is a good matchup into the Sigma. You have to consider that's what Boston has to think about.
Well, we'll see what happens, what Boston has prepared for Midtown when we come back from the break, so don't go anywhere. The action continues in just a few. On to map number 2, Midtown, selected by the Boston Uprising. The staging ground as they try to get themselves into this series, because what we saw in Busan was quite a bit of absence from this veteran squad. The Florida Mayhem looking far too comfortable to kick things off.
And Florida Mayhem haven't had to change anything just yet, but I'm looking over towards the Boston Uprising. I think they got a little bit more to show. We know there's more compositions. We know there's more looks that they can pull through. Map 1, experimenting. Does the ramp work? Can we make the Jungle Queen work? So far, no, the answer to both. But the Rhine is still on the table. We saw someone bring that out yesterday versus Dallasville, rather 2 days ago now. Worked the treat versus Harbin. Wasn't interested in the Sigma mirror. As we head over towards Midtown. Not a bad opportunity to maybe think about the Orisa again, but Orisa not playing super well in Sigma so far. Options available for Boston. What will they choose?
We will have to just wait and see as we get ready to jump into this one, but it needs to be good. It needs to be just cohesive from the side of the Boston Uprising, because we're seeing a lot of disjointedness with those ultimates you're talking about at the sound barrier with the Annihilation layered in. We weren't getting those combos coming through, and it made it all the more easy for Florida Mayhem to just go ahead and pick them apart. Mayhem now going to be first here on the defense. We see someone on the Queen. The Smurf come out the gate and stick with it for this mirror matchup.
It's really the defense I'm interested in. That is the composition. It's going to be locked in, and even in the past, you know, we've seen a lot of Sigma on the defense, some on the attack here as well. This is a really good map actually for the Sigma, so questions being asked here for the Boston Uprising. They opted to go here. They chose this map. It is a map that has favored Florida and this composition in the past. Potentially fighting uphill is the Boston Uprising, and it's going to end up being the Smurf Classic. We already saw this. Plentiful, beautifully piloted by Smurf. Nope, swapping at the last minute. Wants to give this another go.
Changing it up. We'll see how they fare, though. Side room approach for the time being. There's the rush. Popping that speed boost. Big on, trying to get them in on top of the axe across. Finds an immense amount of value. And that's the supports. Now the Bastion taken away from the side of the Florida Mayhem. And this is the Boston that we wanted to see on the opening map. That's a team kill. That's the point.
Rush down in Midtown. Boston Uprising strat. And for the Florida Mayhem, nowhere to back out. You need to have positioning to back away with Florida. No scouting, unfortunately, for this Smurf Jungle Queen composition. They would have seen them as they come through the bottom. And for Florida, all they can do, drop off the high ground, go back over towards spawn, and give yourself as much distance as possible. The May is going to help in that regard. May Waller, block out Smurf, block out Decay.
Well, now, an immense amount in the time bank to work with here for the side of the Boston Uprising for the Florida Mayhem. It's going to be trying to whittle away at that, getting some early corner control here of the cart. Let's set them up for a long hold. Someone playing on low ground, Verdering trying to get up top, get an angle where he can actually use this rail, but he's overstepped. Merritt, spotting a pixel out of place, is able to gun him down.
That's a really awful timing for the Boston Uprising as well, because they were waiting for the window from Izayaki. Merritt seeing if he can catch a player out, but Boston Uprising already in position to back away. And as Izayaki finally finds his ultimate, RuPaul still 21 away himself, but they have the high ground. It's Florida that have more room to play through. Someone on the low ground here has to be considerate, but where does the TP come through? You can ignore someone here. Go past them, but the wall is good.
And the window comes up, but the wall goes out to try to cut it off. Checkmate going to be taken down, Verdering able to find one, but BJ gone, going to be the casualty on the opposite side there as Boston Uprising don't get a clean opener. A little bit of damage across, pushes them back into the stairwell, axe in towards someone, kind of shrugs that one off. Now the answering window comes through, but Chong's still going to be taken down as Verdering is able to line up the rail shot. Takes him out, the cart going to be inching forward, getting ready to go down the ramp as Merritt pulled out into a really rough spot, but someone is there with the kinetic grasp to keep him protected.
Has to be rampage time. There's the wall. Get past the wall, and it's time to play the ultimates. Verdering wants some damage done. Accretion coming through. Someone knocks him down.
Gets stunned up, but still gets right back up onto his feet. But with this overclock pops, he's not going to be getting too many targets. Everybody just kind of pulling away as another projected barrier goes out into his face. They all drop down collectively. Everyone from the Boston Uprising now looking to push through the underpass as someone applies some pressure on the backside, but now he needs to be protected. The healing comes through.
Where's the rampage?
They're all going to be locked in. The rampage still available. Now the pop comes across. Gets the anti out of the three. The rally going to be rolling through Chorong to try to keep him alive. The blade, however, layered in, gets the immortality field. Verdering claiming one. Checkmate down low. The Blizzard now going to be online. He manages to survive, but the rest of the team, I don't think we can say the same for them. Chorong will fall. The cleanup will continue, and the cart can now break free.
Boston Uprising forcing positioning away from the Florida Mayhem. Get them on the ground. That's when the rampage is going to be useful. That's when someone on the Sigma is going to be a lot weaker with the Florida composition. Boston Uprising, they were only trying to pressure the high ground. Eventually, with the payload slowly moving through, Florida have to contest. And once they drop, that's when Uprising start to win.
And they get the card right up here in front of point B. The artillery to try to clear the way here from Merit, try to escort them forward. Immortality Field going to be dealt with. RuPaul going to be down low, gets killed off, but it's at the cost of Smurf. And now, Lichigon and Decay also going to get picked off. Birdring, the last one to fall. I'll just go for a little reset as they stagger him a bit. It's just going to be facing and trying to get closer to that next overclock, but eventually will drop. But it's still nearly 3 minutes, and the cart is right in front of B.
You have to be a little bit careful there. Don't want to have Merit randomly die to Birdring during the stagger, but time off the clock is important. Florida Mayhem come back with some decent ultimates to be able to go for that retake. I mean, Blizzard is always going to be top of the list. Smurf taking so much damage in that fight. And the artillery didn't even get comboed with the Flux because the Flux wasn't available yet, so that will be used freely here. Double windows nearly available once again, but Easyiaki needs to find the ankle and Florida can still drop down.
Okay, there's the window. Someone going to be pushing forward, gets in front of it. Catch doesn't come through for Easyiaki, but he's got the Immortality Field set up. Lichigon, however, going to be taken out as RuPaul finds the kill. Overclock popped. Birdring again on the hunt, trying to find something, but with the loss of Smurf, they just have to pull away. More time bought now, just 2 minutes remaining.
It's hard for Smurf, man. He wants to walk forward. He's the Junker Queen. He's got to get in the face of the Florida Mayhem, but someone pops the Flux. Perfect counter to the window from Easyiaki, and unfortunately, Birdring just hasn't got any targets to shoot. Can't take anybody down. Last 2 minutes now. It's Florida Mayhem, once again, set up on the high ground, make it difficult to TP into. They can always drop down if required. Looks like that's what they're doing now. Merit's already down on the ground. Someone, the only one still holding, as Boston will take full high ground control.
The next artillery fire, nearly up, push around the corner, the beat comes across it, manages to catch all five. For a second, looked like Lichigon was going to whip out on that one, but now it's trying to isolate RuPaul, but he hasn't managed to find it at the Rampage. Not going to be getting anything there from the side of Smurf. Blade going to be pulled, Decay looking for some targets, but 18 HP is not enough. RuPaul gets a headshot, shuts him down, and for everything that they throw at this point, nothing sticks. Boston Uprising again, going to be reset, going to be staggered.
Easyiaki has at least got his ultimate off the damage, but this is going to be more time lost. And Smurf could not get his ult off. It was either someone with the Decretion or Chorong rally into the bash. Smurf could not land the ultimate. We saw the Orisa being hovered at the start of the map, and now it's going to be locked in. But as mentioned earlier, it's questionable how good the Orisa is going to play into the Sigma. Both teams at this stage basically poking on through. But someone has the extra shield. Can have a grasp. And the Flux as well into very little time remaining for the Boston Uprising. It's all down to our BAT players at Matrices. Decay still pushing payload, that's important.
Pushes it forward, but still a significant amount of rollback. Still has to make it out of that underpass. Some damage across there on the checkmate as he caught a javelin from Smurf. He's going to be fortifying up, not getting stunned by the accretion, but also he's in a rough position, taking so much damage near end of the front line.
Good catch.
Kicked, dropped up, dropped down. The Immortality Field keeps him alive for a little bit longer with the Blizzard layered on top of it. Florida Mayhem are looking to put an end to this push and put an end to it. They shall. Easyiaki zoned away, no one can get the touch. And it's just in front of B, where Mayhem need to go to move up 2-0.
Boston got so close. They pushed to the end of B, but they just could not survive the retake coming through from the Florida Mayhem. And so many times, multiple fights, a player got staggered. And they're not afraid to stagger anybody. They know that they are the team to beat currently. Potential playoff favorites, Coach of the Year Gumba, MVP is someone. The Boston Uprising, they hold the players with all the former chips, all the former rings. They need to come through strong in this series because so far the Junker Queen has been good on A, rushed down Florida before they could react, massively slowed down on B, late swap to the Orisa. Still pending on how that's going to go because we didn't get to see enough of it, but I think Smurf knows it's likely not going to be the pick versus the Someone Sigma. It's not the pick that'll get them through.
We'll see what they land on here. Smurf, he is going to be starting off this defense with that Junker Queen and needs to have a similar beginning, but playing from the opposite
look
side.
At this cancel.
The shutdown getting ready to come through as he does build it up.
Oh, bring back.
Fantastically done from Chorong.
Beautiful stuff. Speaking of stuns, by the way, I mean, one of the setups that we had for the final fight on the defense was someone throwing out the accretion towards Smurf, and because Smurf uses the Fortify early, that is the signal for the Florida Mayhem to then throw through all the extra abilities, the Blizzard, the Flux, everything to take Smurf down, knowing the Fortify was already gone.
It didn't matter that the artillery wasn't there. They just layer in that blizzard on the bottom. So when you drop down, you're half HP. And then frozen up. Now Florida Mayhem opening up on the attack. Getting ready to push forward, looking like a left side approach from them. Decay hovering around, has to dash out of there. Doesn't want to get so completely surrounded, but yeah, Checkmate gonna be forced to go into the ice block nice and early.
That was tricky there. You gotta be careful about being pulled back. If Smurf sticks a knife into any player on rotation, that could be an instant pick, and then Florida Mayhem out on an island.
Decay trying to dive forward, but someone tracks him, gets the accretion across, takes him down, and then there's no way for Smurf to survive. He will fall, and it's similar scenes here, but this time it's the pink squad breaking through and capping A in record time.
Just patience. Move through the indoor sections of the map. Decay caught in the open. He tries to cut off the Florida Mayhem approach, but not a tag, no knife, no real defensive capability there. Iziaki maybe too far away, certainly was too slow to save Smurf with the immortality field. And a well-placed rock from somewhere just annihilates Decay. So a similar time bank now for the Florida Mayhem. And this might be more than enough time because they don't have to get through all of B. Well, they got to get to the end of B.
It's pretty much the whole way there, but the map will come to a conclusion if they can make it happen. So this needs to be a very similar hold coming across from the side of the Boston Uprising.
Look at RuPaul's ult as well, by the way. So far ahead of Iziaki.
He's just 16% away. Iziaki trying to even things out here with him. RuPaul continues to surge, just getting these sight lines, getting these hits across to really be able to build this one up. Someone taking down about half HP here into the front line, but see the immortality field not even being burned yet. They're not going to be too upset about it so far, but now up over the top, the window comes in. RuPaul going to be taken down, Chorong as well. Caught by the knife, the cleanup will come through. Boston Uprising finally able to find their footing and don't lose anybody in the fight.
And now they can push forward as well. I mean, this could be a little bit more difficult for Florida. They have to push out a spawn, multiple angles to take care of. No sim to TP them out either. And Boston see the opportunity with Mayhem backing out, knowing that they are not going to get the window angle.
Smurf's not with the rest of them at the moment here. Needs to be ready at the drop of a hat, just swing around, get in with the rest of the team. Still 7% away from having it all.
To the middle nowhere actually at the moment. That's a little bit curious.
Par for the course when it comes down to Lee J-Con, to be honest, but now the overclock going to be popped. Disrupting shot, not finding too much of anything here. Sound barrier going to be dropped as they try to get themselves around this May wall, and it's up into the train car. And seemingly, it's like we haven't even capped A yet, but now the Flux comes in. Artillery fire is there. Smurf blown to smithereens. Decay only able to find one before getting taken down, and the forward hold from the Boston Uprising is very swiftly shattered.
I mean, that's all it takes. You need to find that combo Flux into artillery strike. Make sure that Boston Uprising don't run you down. And honestly, going over towards the train, very hard for Uprising to go against that. Safe place to throw in the Bastion ultimate. The real push can start to begin now. The only thing, though, that is unfortunate for the Mayhem is it does cost them a lot of ultimates just to break out of spawn.
Sure. But the push right now still continuing, working its way through the underpass is that cart. The full 5-man stack of the Florida Mayhem escorting it, and they have the Blizzard if they can get around this final corner to really clear off the cart itself. Buy some space.
It's already final fight. I mean, it's a lot of free push for Mayhem. Uprising being conservative with their play. They have to be careful with how they find this opportunity. You don't want to lose your rampage again.
They need to take this high ground control. Smurf with the rampage. Gonna pop it, go charging through, and this time he catches absolutely everyone. A swift cleanup comes across as the immortality field goes down. It's gonna be a team kill after the little stagger here on the RuPaul, trying to give him a taste of the Mayhem's medicine. And I think he's got a mouthful to pull back on the knife. They say, you are not going anywhere.
That's what Boston need. Few more of those, just like Mayhem did to them earlier. Smurf gets the rampage he was waiting for in the last round. Decay saves Blade. Iziaki is ahead on the window as well. Good situation for the Uprising to be in. This is where they can start to really bleed down that timer. There's Mayhem. Look, you want to attack into Midtown B. Slowly walking up the stairs.
Okay, working their way forward. Maywall out. Rail across, Birdring finds the headshot. RuPaul going to be taken down. Someone got a half HP as everyone else just piling down into the low ground. Look to recontest here on the stairs, but Blade available.
Don't want to get baited into the Blizzard. That's the key thing here. You do have a 5v4, and it's going to be difficult for RuPaul to connect with the team again. So while the respawns are still coming in through, Uprising should still try and find an opportunity for a 5v4 or cut off RuPaul. You can see through the silhouettes, RuPaul's really far away.
Yeah, so far it's only Lee J-Con who's kind of bouncing up top, scouting for him. Kinetic Crash going to be used, dash jump into the air, the Blade, this time not getting hit by the accretion. It's a dash out as the Blizzard comes through, checkmate. looking to go ahead and stave him off, but they still have to worry about this overclock as Birdring's got a straight line of sight, but he just can't quite get these heads. He can't quite get the elimination.
Takes to the open.
Out into the open, the disrupting shot onto the corner. Now the beat going to be dropped in. Flux picking them up into the air, looking for some eliminations. Lee Jae Gong going to be the first one to fall, and so far everybody on the Florida Mayhem standing tall. Smurf out in front, taken low. Can they kill him off? The aggression absolutely will. That's the breakthrough, and that should be the push. Florida Mayhem, they get whittled down to the time bank. Maybe a last-second contest ready here for the side of the Boston Uprising, but still a minute to go.
It's got to be Lee Jae Gong. He has to touch it. No one else is faster. Bergering should have come through with the TP. Mayhem know this. They're going to go right into the front doors, cut off anybody from the Uprising. Bergering at low HP. So that's a good TP though.
They get themselves for the rampage across it, manages to catch on to 3. Merritt going to be taken down. Someone still anteed out. Chorong falls. The cleanup continues. And with 37 seconds remaining, Boston Uprising once again gain control of the card. They're looking for more. Oh no, RuPaul. Here we go again.
There's no way. He's down. He's down. 25 seconds left to go. And it's a slow comp from Florida. Now they're in trouble. How are they going to be the ones to touch? Chorong obviously on the Lucio, but this is such a slow comp, and you have to consider the fact that if you go too quickly, you will get your rotation cut off by the Uprising. Smurf is going to catch somebody. Decay's going to catch somebody. Limited time here. Extremely difficult. Florida Mayhem going through bottom. Uprising have kind of allowed them to do this, so it's going to be a full 5v5 now. No ultimates across the board.
The Boston hopeful there in the audience, fingers crossed, everything I'm sure crossed, hoping that they can pull off this defense. It's a couple meters left to go, but now we go into overtime. The wall going to be coming up some of those sight lines. Ults still not yet there. The Flux nearly online. The Blizzard nearly online for Florida. Pressure into the back line. The Flux now going to be built up. Gets the pickup. Izayaki decimated. Smurf with a knife does man to find checkmate. A bloody back and forth as Birdring will take down Chorong. 2 members apiece, but it's no support for the Boston Uprising. The blade finds nothing, but Smurf finds everything! The final knife through! Thrust into the hearts of the Florida Mayhem, and we are tied up 1-1! Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hands!
And it ends up being the Junker Wing that gets it done. The question was asked, what was going to be the comp that can counter the Sigma? And an important couple of fights there for the Boston Uprising. 2 big staggers onto RuPaul. And a huge retake coming through from the Boston Uprising to match what Florida did on their own defense to save the day. They were stuck in spawn, limited time available, a single TP that buys their players back on the point, a rampage that cuts through the Florida Mayhem. Extremely pivotal fight for the Boston Uprising to hold on to the series.
And similar scenes just doing to Mayhem what they had done to them on that defense, holding out hope, winning those fights time and time again to just whittle away at that monstrous time bank that both squads had off the rip. But Boston Uprising just a little bit better, preventing that push from coming in, now tying it up at 1-1.
And honestly, one of the big plays there was the snipe onto RuPaul that cost a lot of time for Mayhem, because it's not just the time you have to wait for RuPaul to rejoin the team. He can't easily rejoin the team at all. You have this situation as well with the spawn camping. The fact that it cost Mayhem a lot of ultimates. I mean, this was actually the first fight, but we had that moment again where Boston Uprising were spawn camping for a Mayhem had to pull through something like 3 to 4 ults to get out. That's costly just to get out of spawn.
Yeah. Excellently piloted here from the side of the Boston Uprising, not going down without a fight, a bloody back and forth, a very close map on Midtown after a bit of a wash on our opening map of Busan. So if we have more of this in our futures, then by God, we are going to be treated to some excellent gameplay throughout the rest of this series. And you can tell just how much both teams want this. This is that final hurdle until you can claim a trophy potentially.
Last fight was like a 3v3, going down to a 2v2 and eventually a 2v1. Extremely low numbers. That could have been anyone's fight right at the end. So close.
Well, New Junk City going to be the staging ground here to see which team is going to retake a lead potentially for the Mayhem, or if the Boston Uprising will get one for the first time. But first, we will go to a quick little break, give the players a rest, and then dive right back into the action. A legendary squad comprised of legendary players. Boston Uprising get themselves on the board with a hairline victory there on Midtown, extending this series and evening up the score.
It was a close call, but Boston needed to prove that their comp was going to be good enough. Smurf needed to prove that Junker Queen could be enough to get past the Sigma.
That's clever. I like it.
Welcome indeed. Last day, all to play for. Finals bound. One of the two teams on stage right now, and it's a 1-to-1. Still anybody's game. New Junk City, map number 3, picked by the Florida Mayhem. Will they stick through with the Sigma on this map as well? As I mentioned at the start of the series, that is only one of several looks for the Florida Mayhem. They're going to have to be taken down piece by piece here from the Boston Uprising side if they want to fell the Florida Mayhem today. Multiple different phases of this boss fight required.
Seeing a lot of Suravasa so far here. The new Junk City change up. See what they do have ready, but Smurf, he's role-playing a bit here with the map. Looks like might be coming out the gate with the Junker Queen once again. As it feels like both teams widely going to be sticking to what we just saw from them back in Midtown.
Makes sense. I mean, Florida, they believe their comp works. They knew they could have won that last map. For Boston Uprising, they proved that they can make their comp work. So, it's time to break this tie.
How many rounds is it going to take? That's what we're about to find out. Flashpoint going to be unlocking in 18 seconds as both teams get ready to do battle.
Mayhem slightly later to the mid. Don't have that Lucia, but you want to have the Brig. Can't afford to give up the BAP either. Have to just accept that. Boston will be there a little bit early, but Boston, conservative, no sim this time. That's very important to note. They can't just TP him. Big nade, by the way, from Merritt.
Connection there, the knife as well, ready for the pull in. Just letting them bleed out a little bit more. There's a Grecian, can't quite get around the corner. Someone unable to find that kill. Just going for the reload. Axe out, pushing up. Doesn't quite get the connection across onto both, but continuing to nail everything, and there's the catch. Checkmate gonna be taken down, however, it's answered back. Someone with the accretion will take out Izayaki, beat RuPaul, under fire, falls to the hands of Birdring, the dive in now from Decay, looking to get on top of Merit, and he's got no hope in hell. Cut down to size. A couple kills exchanged back here from the side of the Florida Mayhem, but the point still ticking up here for Boston.
Yeah, they got the point in the middle of all that, so they are in lead by big numbers here. Smurf's down, but he'll get taxied back by Lee Jae-gon. A little bit more difficult for the Florida Mayhem. Again, no Lucio here. And Boston, because they know they don't have a sim, they have to slowly grind out the fight, burn through all the defensive utility from someone Sig. No more shield, no more grasp. Both Check and someone walking forward, but they go in opposite directions, and Checkmate goes left, someone goes back to his team, and that means that May is forfeit.
It's very slowed down as well. You can see Checkmate only at 56% of the moment, trying to build up that Blizzard. Can still make it happen very rapidly, but need the rest of the team to try to stay alive. Jae-gon talking about him being in odd positions. Look at that isolation, trying to find Checkmate. They force out the ice block. Can they get him on the back end? The beat comes in, the wall timing perfect from Checkmate, but now it's gonna be the Flux Artillery combo coming through as someone goes on the hunt, looking for the pickup. Manages to scoop on the two, and Lee Jae-gon gonna be punished, gonna be blown out. As the cleanup comes across, it's an instant team kill and in control of the Florida Mayhem.
And they just don't have the ability to get out there. The sound barrier was already burned earlier. Perfect wall coming down from Checkmate. Florida Mayhem, they're counter-punching here. Everything Boston Uprising wanted to do in that fight was countered. When Uprising want to walk forward, the wall stops them. When Uprising want to walk backwards, there's no more sound barrier, there's no more speed boost. Easy pickings for someone in Merit on that combo once again.
This ends now.
There's the overclock pop, the Rampage, the Blade available for the side of Florida. It's all on this Blizzard that really try to hold the line. Double ante goes across, RuPaul gonna get bled down, just no way to try to stay alive in this one. At Decay, it's just carving up to bits. Murdering the lone casualty here for the side of the Boston Uprising. They will continue to push forward, but they also need to get this flip. 82% here for the side of the Florida Mayhem, but Boston will be able to reclaim it.
That's point number one done. 1-0, Boston Uprising on our third map. Someone, here's the Orisa. The SIG has officially been defeated. That is step one for Boston Uprising in their journey to taking down the Florida Mayhem. You gotta get past the SIG. Someone decides, you know what, it's Rhine time. We saw this in the Dallas matchup. Off the SIG, straight onto the Rhine, and Orisa, there it is, Smurf. He has a counter pick as well. We're gonna see a lot of this counter picking perhaps throughout the series. Smurfs played this matchup, they just beat London.
And Smurf has been looking absolutely incredible when it comes down to his just usual accuracy. Setting up for pins, being able to capitalize on the back of him. The wall comes up, but already Checkmate has been dealt with. Decay into the back lines, managing to catch that May completely unawares. Someone pushing forward, takes down Lee Jae-gon, but now Merritt is going to be eliminated as well, and that's all the damage taken out of the hands of the Florida Mayhem as that point is unlocked, and Boston look poised to claim it for themselves. The pushback, the cleanup comes across, someone hits the floor, and Boston Uprising will once again get the first cap.
And Decay is really going hard right now. This is a good matchup for him. He knows how to play straight away versus the Rhine, but we're going to keep counter swapping because you know what? The hero that beats the Orisa, as proven by Mayhem, it's back over towards the Sigma, and if Smurf wants to beat the Sigma again, he's going to have to counter swap once more.
Javelin's done, Checkmate going to be steadied. Stays alive as RuPaul and Chorong both getting whittled away at. You can see Boston Uprising trying to push them. It's going to be double window here, but Decay is caught out, taken down. Kill comes across, Immortality's going to be exchanged, but now Izayaki, Smurf, all going to be falling to the wayside. The team kill comes in. 50% established on the point, not too bad for Boston Uprising, but with the minor little swaps from Florida Mayhem, they come right back into it.
What a brutal wall set up by Checkmate that completely removes the ability for Decay to get back to his own team. And Boston can do nothing to help Decay out. A lone Genji versus 5. Smurf can't afford to swap just yet, 90% towards the Terror Surge. And guess what? We see combos coming through from Flux and Artillery. Terror Surge Artillery is available for Uprising.
Izayaki on the approach, taking a little bit of damage here. To play away from the point. Accretion going to be going wide. Someone still trying to build up and get that Flux available to go alongside this Artillery. But someone, isolated there, Chorong goes in to try to back him up, and Merritt, he just sends it up vanilla. No Flux, no combo, no Blizzard, and he picks off two. What a catastrophe for Boston.
No toppings on my ice cream today. Take it straight as it comes. Counters Birdring. I mean, he sees Birdring going for the ultimate. So Merritt's like, hey, at minimum, we're just going to kill each other here. But if Birdring doesn't shoot Merritt, and he did not, Merritt takes down Birdring, and the Uprising, flattened.
The last few seconds, they make their way to the point that we'll be able to force out this overtime and look to get the cap. Beat available, Lee gone. When does he decide to pull the trigger? Because Chorong on the opposite side also has one ready to go, and that Blizzard is going to be coming into play here pretty damn soon. Terra Search goes out, unable to find any eliminations, forces the beat, but now the Flux is going to be here on the back end. The blade pulled across, Immortality Field taken down, RuPaul dead on the floor as he looks for more. Decay trying to finish the job, has the resheath, but the dash through takes him down. Boston Uprising, they recap the point and they hold on for a bit longer.
Chorong's only got one sound barrier, but two important ultimates to block out. You use the sound barrier to beat the Terror Surge, and Decay sees his moment. It's time to blade. Nothing can stop that ultimate once it goes off. Unless the Florida Mayhem can somehow kill Decay mid-ult, but not this time. Checkmate now over towards the Tracer. Gone away is the mate. RuPaul versus Izayaki. We've seen this battle before. Last time on this point, RuPaul Mayhem came out ahead.
Window v window, but this time the fight not going to be happening there on the walkway, on the high ground. They look to push them back. Overtime on either side, but RuPaul going to be dealt with. But Merritt, however, still managing to find one, but he's taken down. Lee gone, finding the enemy bastion. The spins comes in, pinned into the corner is someone. Smurf trying to take him down. Good damage coming across from Checkmate, nearly eliminates the enemy Orisa as he continues to hold on for a little bit longer. The counter flip is there. Florida Mayhem now in control. The tank's going to be exchanged, but Checkmate, he's got other plans. He takes down two. He's looking for the third. Chorong takes it away from him. And somehow, some way, Florida Mayhem pull the rug out from beneath the Boston Uprising.
Another critical 3v3. Both tanks on critical. Smurf is someone on 1 HP, but it's someone that makes it out. And it comes down to very low numbers. Checkmate, recent swap onto the Tracer, instantly paying dividends. Didn't even need the mate all this time to win that battle. 1-1 now. As we see, two ultimates online for the Florida Mayhem. Smurf still playing on to the Orisa. He dies, but he's a high ult charge. Doesn't want to give it up just yet.
Grenade finding a decent amount of value there. Some damage across onto Izayaki and Lee gone. Checkmate, going to be kept honest. Decay trying to stop getting on this flank angle. They know that he's going to have that pulse bomb available, given all of the work that he just did in the final fight. Birdring, however, taken low, pushes around the corner of the Immortality Field there, trying to keep him alive, and RuPaul going to be taken down at the back of the Terror Surge. Lee unable to find the elimination, but now Izayaki going to be taken out as well, and Decay cannot get away. Merritt finds him. It looks like Florida Mayhem this time going to be destined to get the first lockdown of the point.
Lee gone, just no opportunity to use the sound barrier. That was the missing piece. Chorong threw it in there. Merritt had another artillery, this time just for zoning. And a fight win for the Florida Mayhem to try and get the lead on this map. Flux available. This time we're not even going to combo. Merritt just throwing the artilleries out there, back in towards the mate for Checkmate. Izayaki's close again to another window. Good wall from Checkmate, would block it through. Someone has to be careful.
Shot comes up, wall comes through. Flux now is there, and the shielding from that beat is going to be expiring, and Lee gone. It's flattened on the floor. Decay can't find much there with the blade on the back end. Merritt going to be taken down as Birdring able to find one. Checkmate low on HP. Puts up that wall, is trying to get away. Birdring hounds him down, finds the elimination. Now the flip is getting ready to come in.
Mayhem have to give it up. Someone does make it out alive though, so hopefully they don't have to wait too long. Few plays being taxied by Chorong. RuPaul's turn to ult next. But it's got to be a slow setup. Mayhem don't want to ult too quickly here. There's a lot of room for the Uprising to move around. High ground control, name of the game here.
The clock is available here. Birdring taking a chunk, falls low, window set out, and he cannot really afford to peek around this corner, but he's going to do it. And Decay diving forward, finds someone. Hill comes across, Checkmate, down low on HP. Continues to get whittled away, finished off. Izayaki finds the elimination. Boston Uprising now can take the lead on the point as someone once again is going to be swapping. But Merritt, dead on the back end. A monstrous dagger found for Boston.
You thought it might have been Birdring with the hero placer, but he gets locked out by the wall early. And it's the other four from the Boston Uprising that move into melee range against Mayhem, and now someone over towards the Orisa. The counter pick game is real. We'll see what Merritt can do with this ult.
Pushing out, Checkmate again, the target, but now the artillery fire going to be layered in as well. A bit more chaos for Boston to deal with as he tries to get on top of these supports. Decay manages to do it. RuPaul going to be taken down. Mortality gone. Florida Mayhem got themselves to the point to get the flip in their favor, but now they're still without this Baptiste. The push back through, Boston Uprising looking to take this once again into their hands and try to have this OT bleed down.
Just too many low members, but Boston Uprising stay alive anyway. Mayhem now, Rico coming through a RuPaul. One sound barrier to maybe end it or checkmate with first blood.
Finds the kill, Izzyaki gonna be taken down, they still hold the Blizzard to try to clear the point. 10% left to go for Mayhem to move up 2-1 here on the map. Smurf holding on to the Rampage, the beat, the blade, nearly here for the side of Boston. Goes forward, dashes across, only finds someone, but it's quickly cleansed off. RuPaul with the swapper onto the Kiriko. He's got it! They saved his life, but now the OT gonna be bleeding down! Burn Ring, nothing to be done! Gets a rail shot on the Merit, but it's as good as it gets! RuPaul comes back on Kiriko, frags out of control, and Florida Mayhem now move up 2-1.
It's a war of attrition. Uprising just need to survive a little bit longer. It was a beat blade combo that could still bail them out. Smurf dies, but Decay, he has to be the hero there. Florida Mayhem just isolate him, take him down. They know he's a threat. RuPaul coming back on a Kiriko, knowing it was going to have to be a late swap. It's going to have to rejoin the team, play his 5. And now to the Orisa mirror. More swaps coming on through Smurf, away from the Junker Queen. The Rampage was already used. Map point for Florida Mayhem to try and take the lead of the series.
Blade at the ready, didn't get to use it, much to Decay's benefit there in that last fight. Cap comes in, Boston Uprising occupying enough space to take this for themselves right off the rip.
It's an ultimate use to get the point capture as Florida Mayhem back away.
How do you feel about a Terror Surge artillery combination that's about to be ready for the side of the Florida Mayhem? Barrett going to be tagged low, Overclock comes through, Bird Ring just looking to continue to stave them off. Any percentage that they get is still going to be an advantage.
Look at this patience game. It's 2 ultimates so far. The Mayhem are happy to wait out. Birdring, by the way, he got spared in the middle of his ultimate. Here we go, window. No targets,
but now he's trying to push up, get in front of that window, and he will do just that. Artillery going to be layered in, takes out that Immortality Field. Smurf still going to be following the wayside, but the supports taken down, and Decay now has free reign. Finds 2, and now it's just going to be someone trying to backpedal, trying to get himself out of here, trying to survive, but it is just not going to be allowed to happen. They try to force him back. The Fortify comes in, a couple heals across to try to save him, but they cannot, and it's 76% here for Boston.
I don't think it's enough time. I mean, someone is too far away, even with the taxi. I think Mayhem have to give this one up. Looking through the silly wedge, they're gone. Sigma swap over to the final point. Uprising have got the cap for free.
2-2, it will all come down to this last one. Boston Uprising and Florida Mayhem, anybody's game. The inside track there for Florida can get this set up quickly with the Sigma. Should favor them, and what does Boston do now on the approach?
Same as they did previously in the Sigma versus Orisa matchup. It's going to come down to Bastion trading. Put the hand in front is someone's game plan. Fluxes have been huge so far. It is also the Blizzard for checkmate that could be critical here for the next fight, especially given that Izzyaki is so far ahead in ult.
The Javelins continue to connect, but not onto anybody who's weaker and easily picked. But speaking about easily picked, Birdring just trying to get some line of sight, trying to build up for a rail shot. Taken down, a fantastic right click at range from checkmate. The wall comes in. Immortality Field having to be used just for the backpedaling here of Smurf. So he will be able to stabilize and stay alive for a little bit longer, but off screen, Decay gets taken down. Continuing to try to exit. The pursuit comes in, but eventually Florida Mayhem have to pull away.
And that is punishing for the Boston Uprising. They're trying to retreat. They're still losing members. Could have lost more. Saw the accretion stick on the Lee J gone. Could have been a 3rd death. And it's just time lost for Boston. 40% should be gone. More ultimates coming online. This is giving RuPaul the opportunity to catch up. Remember, Izzyaki was so far ahead, and now RuPaul is on 84.
Lee J on the one. That really needs to try to catch up now as that beat is not available. Window coming through. Maywall again just trying to dissuade. Rail built up, looking for a target into the ice block. Goes checkmate. That Blizzard is available. Immortality Field thrown down. The beat coming in. RuPaul dead before the shielding can connect. Terror Surge finds nothing, and Merritt's able to take down Smurf, but now he himself is under fire. But it looks like it doesn't matter. The cleanup continues.
It should be the map. It should be the map.
It's a very late set from Decay.
80%. Smurf's going to come back on the ball, but he can only touch at most. Izzyaki going to try and TP in. If the creature hits it, it does!
It connects into the flux! Someone denies the touch to once again put Mayhem in the lead!
What a finish from the Florida Mayhem. A fight won at 80%. Boston Uprising to try and go for the final touch. And a lot of time wasted at the start of our final point with Florida Mayhem just pushing the Uprising back. Taking down members, trying to peel away back to spawn. Wamp, not going to help you there. Huge moments from Merit across the board here. A lot of swaps between both of our teams, but it ends up being Florida Mayhem back over towards the Sigma. That has been what's working.
The constant swapping from the side of the Florida Mayhem paying off dividends, where they fell shy just by a hair. They're on Midtown. They once again have the lead and have this series in their grasp. It's one more map win, but again, a map selection that is about to be in the hands of Boston Uprising. It worked for them once on Hybrid. Can it work for them again as we get ready to go into push?
It's close, man. All 5 points. Still feels like anybody's game. I mean, many have said that Florida, extremely favored, could be the grand finals for them, but Boston Uprising, they are playing phenomenally right now. This is a series where, honestly, at this point, still completely open.
The back and forth could very well continue, or maybe Mayhem with a little bit more wind in their sails will be able to try to finish it out. We'll see what the push map selection is going to be here in a brief little moment, and whether or not it's going to be good enough to get Boston right back into this series, to tie things up once again and give us the series that we've all been waiting for, one that we deserve, that this semi-final deserves. It's going to be Colosseo coming in for our push map.
It's going to be bloodthirsty. Whoever makes it into finals, it's going to cost them everything. They'll have to pull out all the stops because they're not going to win easy.
No, they are not, but all right, it's time for a much-needed break for us, for the audience, for the players as well. But when we come back, we'll see if this series gets extended all the way to 5, or if the Florida Mayhem will be able to take it 3-1.
I'm back strong. The time has come to crown our next Overwatch League champion.
Are you guys ready? Let me hear you!
Let's recall our epic journey through Season 6.
Welcome back!
Damn, it's good to be back! Let the games begin!
Welcome to Spring Stage Knockouts.
The Seoul Infernal.
The Hangzhou Spark sweep their way into mid-season madness.
And that'll be it! Boston Uprising will be seeing you in the mid-season madness. The Florida Mayhem have booked their ticket to Seoul.
Let it go, Johnny. Let it go, Johnny. The stadium's loud. I'm feeling the crowd. No stopping me.
The ultimate challengers, the Houston Outlaws. They're legendary.
This is real deal. It's not an anime.
The Atlanta Reign brought it all the way to the throne. Your mid-season madness victors.
A successful defense here in front of point B. Hangzhou Spark win. Seoul Dynasty punch the ticket.
A collect call from Canada and Dallas Fuel.
The Boston Uprising.
London Spitfire.
They're going to accept the charges. Overwatch League Grand Finals.
The moment you have been waiting for.
Grand Finals, September 28th to October 1st.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. We are currently in an incredible series. 2-1 at the moment. Florida Mayhem out in front, but barely. We went all the way through all 5 flashpoint maps there on New Junk City. And I'm hoping that this back and forth play style is going to be continuing as we get ready to go even deeper with Colosseo on the horizon.
I mean, you can forget about map 1 because it's the last 2 maps so far that have been the storyline for the series. Extremely close hairline victories, as you said earlier. I mean, Midtown, it came down to a single fight, 3 versus 3, payload at the precipice, all 5 rounds as well. Looking out New Junk City,
Yep.
You really couldn't have it closer so far.
Certainly could not, and now with Boston having that map pick as we get ready to go into push, the question is it once again going to continue this back and forth, or will the Florida Mayhem be able to put their feet down and shut them out of the series? We'll have to just wait and see as we do get ready to dive into that action, but for everybody here in the arena, thank you guys for sticking with us. We know we had some screens go down, but you know, we got them back up, so now you can all enjoy the action once again.
We're seeing a lot of variety in the comps here as well, a lot of counter swapping coming on through. That's what I expected coming into this one, but a lot more rigidity for our first 2 maps. Plenty of Jungle Queen being played by the Boston Uprising, and they were the ones that needed to answer the compositions of the Florida Mayhem. Those did get answered. Things got extremely bloodthirsty on New Junk City, and that may continue now further forward on to push for Colosseo. We've seen a lot of Esperanza so far. It's time to go somewhere different. The series has the capability of going all the way, but the Florida Mayhem currently sitting on match point, 1 away from a grand finals berth.
Can all very well come to an end right now if Mayhem can walk away victorious, a 3-1 scoreline and a ticket punched into a grand final to try to bring home a trophy for the first time for the Mayhem organization. We'll have to see if they can get it done or if Boston will be able to extend this all the way to 5. Toronto, are you ready? Best sound in the world.
First time semi-final for both these teams. It's uncharted territory. The furthest they've ever made it in a playoff scenario. We're locking it in early. Sigma for someone. It's been the key to the playoffs so far for the Florida Mayhem. Smurf knows it. Boston Uprising are expecting it. On the counter for Boston so far. Been on the Junker Queen. Birdring Soldier, that is going to be a different look.
That is a blast from the past, if anything else. We'll see how long he sticks through with it, but quite a bit of speed. As you can see, he is sprinting his way out into the courtyard and will be there first and foremost.
These mid plays are going to be difficult for the Boston Uprising. Again, they have to close the distance. They do not have a sim. Florida Mayhem have the superior poking capabilities, which will be Birdring on the big flank. Does he have the capability of actually taking somebody down, though? Who can he actually see?
A very
There's one
sneaky
player.
like.
I think that's Checkmate. That's the closest so far. They notice
Checkmate's noted him. Now they know that there's a Soldier 76. Can he get value here? The Helix Rocket's not going to be getting too much of a connection there. Still just applying this pressure, and I mean, unless Checkmate can get on top of him, he's going to be able to just run away from everybody else here on the side of the Florida Mayhem. So now they have this split attention coming through as Decay as well. Going to be diving into the back line. Clean up onto the Immortality field. HP bar is going to be stabilized here for the side of the Mayhem, but not for the side of the Boston Uprising, as Smurf will get taken down. Legion Gun going to be falling. Decay, however, looking to answer back, looking to take this into his own hands. Managing to find two, but Checkmate, the wall comes up. It manages to break away from him. His Bird Ring is just trying to steal the bot away. Gains just under 2 meters, but eventually will fall.
A hard situation for the Florida Mayhem. You've got a soldier in your backline, free shooting you. You can't send anybody to deal with this guy, not in a 1v1. 5 versus 4 in front of you. Just take down Smurf, put him to low HP, force the lamp, and with Smurf down, the rest of the fight is that much easier. With all the damage and healing down, RuPaul now sitting on the only ultimate in our opening second fight.
As an at the ready, bot not able to get too much distance there. A very fast reset for the side of the Boston Uprising to try to catch this one. They look to try to continue this push, but once again, Birdring getting himself into the back line, trying to set up that very painful crossfire, very annoying setup. As RuPaul taking quite a bit of damage, but the bouncing nade goes for it, and Merritt manages to quickly take on, takes it down the window. It might not matter for too much, but Decay pulls the blade, pulls up into the air, and as he drops down, he will get crunched. Someone nullifying the damage dealt there to the support lineup.
But with the supports from Mayhem down, there's only limited push available. Florida Mayhem have to get as much meterage as they can, then back out. They cannot do anything to really force any point pressure. Checkmate playing it safe. Might have been a fat finger, but he'll stay alive in either case. 42 meters and into a reset, back into the concourse. To be honest, so this is where Florida's comp is strong. Someone taking a bit of damage here, but okay.
A little away at Birdring again, sprinting off the right side. They're trying to get into position and put some pressure down. Okay, just hovering up over the top, trying to build up to that next blade. Shield goes this way. Smurf now in a bad spot, gets hit to the floor with the accretion, and he's line of sight being denied, but Legion comes around, managing to drop that beat. They get pushed away. The Blizzard there. Smurf still standing, still trying to keep them in this fight. Has the Rampage available, but Decay's going to be tagged up. Push around the back, the artillery fire now up over the top. Rampage managing to find two. Shoran going to be taken down. Legion able to find the kill. Smurf going to be taken out, but now someone eliminated as well. A 2-for-1 trade up here in the favor of the Boston Uprising. As Decay manages to find another one. The cleanup continues. The Genji unleashed. And Boston Uprising can now move the bot in their favor.
Huge plays coming through from Boston. Decay, the hero of the series so far. Genji working a treat up against the Florida Mayhem, especially when Merritt's also on the Bastion. That's the key hero you need. Smurf goes down there, but traded for someone, it's fine. Boston can still get it done. First real signs of meters being pushed now for the Boston Uprising, but back to the mid we go. A lot more required here for either team to get more distance. Double
Not
windows.
Even halfway. A lot more work to be done. Blade about to be available. Someone also nearly there with that flux, so might just be able to shut down Decay once again with that lone ultimate. Is the window now going to be coming through? But Birdring taken out. RuPaul finding the kill. Stun on the Smurf. It's the fourth for a brief little moment. Still going to be pushing forward. Blade is pulled out, but Decay, the flux isn't even necessary. He just falls. Merritt will kill himself up, but in the end, this is still going to be the Florida Mayhem staving them off, shoving them back, and forcing a swap out of Birdring.
A lot of patience being shown there by someone. Could have been costly if his team starts going down around him, but the trust is there. Florida Mayhem will deal with the threats. First and foremost, it was Birdring, who's now swapped over towards the Soldier, but tactical visor flank taken down by multiple members from Florida addressing it. Slight shove on the payload, but back to mid we go. It's been 5 minutes of back and forth action so far. A roughly 30-meter lead, it's not that much. Boston can close that gap very quickly with a couple of good fights.
Very small numbers that we've been dealing with here so far. Both teams have just been tooth and nail. Get pushed back, they get right back onto the bot very swiftly, not allowing for that breakaway to come through, so no checkpoints even found quite just yet. So DJ Khan just riding the walls, being the maniac that we know that he is, looking for a target, looking for someone to isolate, but so far Florida, they're not giving him any options.
RuPaul needs to look for an ult here. We're in a position where it's hard for the Boston Uprising to back out. DJ Khan has to have beat available.
Rushes forward, forces back, Birdring gets him off the back of the boom. DJ Khan, I mean, he's front-lining right up in front of Merritt's face, where Birdring will scoop a second kill. Looks for a little bit more. Decay gets involved, gets the melee hit across. The cleanup comes in, an extended team kill. The Boston Uprising, who can now start getting some very serious meterage.
And Florida Mayhem this time, they get punished for their patience. So conservative in that mid play. Okay, you're kind of bleeding the timer down, which both teams, it's fairly neutral. But eventually, you are also testing Birdring's ability to find the one-shot. It is a full-fledged poke battle. And out windows are coming on through. Artillery strike from Merritt as well.
Artillery over the top, not having the combination, the slide away, Birdring staying safe, Lee Jae-gon as well, just dipping out, no one getting caught. Flux down, Lee Jae-gon going to be down there on the low ground, someone as well going to be taken low, Immortality Field's going to be exchanged on either side, and the Rampage denied, frozen up Smurf! Absolutely thrown in the dumpster here by the Florida Mayhem. They still do lose out on one, but the cleanup looks damn good as Lee Jae-gon and Decay, there's nothing they can do. They get close, a meter away from taking the lead for themselves, but Florida Mayhem managed to win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Florida get that done without even allowing the flip to come through. That is huge. Defended so well, someone going over towards a payload in the final moments there. Taken down to low HP, but surviving. It is checkmate with another wall to block out the Boston Uprising. Smurf has not had the best luck on these rampages so far through no fault of his own. Birdring, he had the one shot before, he's got the overclock this time.
He's tagged up, looking for it, puts it right through RuPaul's shoulder. It does take him low, but it doesn't take him out. Mizuyaki going to be doing his damnedest to try to catch up here. RuPaul will have that window ahead of him unless he gets picked right now. Another shot going through, Chorong taking low, Birdring, the pop of the overclock, finds checkmate, but Smurf, Mizuyaki, they end up getting taken down. Decay now arrives, dashes across, finds the enemy Baptiste, going to be falling to the wayside, and suddenly it's all on Lee Jae-gon and Birdring, and they stand tall! They take the bot back, but they can't really push, it's just the two of them.
But they can get the flip, they will get the flip of this because someone is respawning last. He was staggered on that death ever so slightly because he's respawning far away. Should be a meter come through. I mean, are they just going to die? No, then Uprising end up giving this up. Florida Mayhem come through with a few members, but someone wasn't there. I think Boston Uprising could have forced a flip if they wanted to, but they respected the Mayhem respawners, and they did not get that flip. So it's going to go back over towards the middle. 240 remaining. Only a meter separating these teams.
Back over to the Orisa once more here for someone. Trying to play forward. That next artillery nearly online. The Blizzard 15% away at the moment for the Boston Uprising. It's just going to be those two support ultimates that they're going to have in their back pocket. One of which Chorong will do the match very quickly. Jae-gon right on the walls. For the speed boost, trying to keep everybody safe. The artillery rather not going to be fighting too much of anything. But no, Smurf, he actually does get taken out. Merit finding the kill. Smurf gone. And that barrier basically means nothing here for the side of the Boston Uprising. Can't keep the front line alive, then it's all going to come tumbling down. Beat now out from Chorong. They want some distance, they want this fight, and they will have it. The support's cleaned up, Decay with nowhere to go, ends up falling. And Florida Mayhem are once again pushing the tempo.
If Smurf doesn't die there, gets the sound barrier from Lee Jae-gon, I think you force out the Blizzard from checkmate. Chorong probably doesn't need to use the beat there, so we'll see if that ends up being impactful for the Florida Mayhem down the line. They're going to push up really far, see if they can extend their lead ever so slightly. Still the Blizzard online. Once you go towards the actual cap, the Blizzard's really good.
It's climbing now, and Smurf has to drop down off this high ground. Some chip damage coming through. Chorong down so low, but the kill not going to be confirmed. Still needs some healing. Florida Mayhem make their way on the low ground. They're trying to match the wall. Locks them into position. Mizuyaki trying to dance within that immortality field, but it's going to be taken out, and someone finds the elimination. Barrett, however, going to be traded out. Decay able to get on top of him and find that kill. Birdring now out of the fray. Decay still so very low, so very close to having that blade online. But with Smurf gone, he just cannot try to pull it right here.
Boston is stalling well. The bot hasn't moved. I mean, it hasn't gone to cap yet. Smurf has respawned here. This is huge from Boston.
Lee Jae-gon, dead, picked out of the sky. Checkmate. With a right click, might have just won this for the side of Florida.
Mayhem backing out. They look like they're backing out.
They're moving away, but they have the lead, and it's just 48 seconds remaining.
But it's a huge stall coming through Boston. There's no cap. That should have been the cap for Florida Mayhem. For Boston Uprising, Decay and Lee Jae-gon. They hide on top of the bridge. They abuse the spot, I'll say it, but it works. And it means that Florida Mayhem get nothing off of that when they should have capped.
The bot now right back into the starting position.
30 seconds, by the way.
8 seconds remaining. The Terror Surge, the beat online for Florida. Jae-gon, he has his. The blade there as well for Decay. It's just going to be everything in the kitchen sink thrown at this bot to see who is going to be coming out on top.
Decay needs to be the hero here. Chorong can only block one of these two ultimates. Terror Surge and Blade available. 4 ultimates for Uprising. If there is a time, it is now.
The artillery nearly going to be there. Window comes up. Lee Jae-gon dropping the beat, only catches out onto 3. Terror Surge going to be used. Someone finds Mizuyaki. The answering one from Smurf finds absolutely nothing. Birdring finding one. Decay pulls the blade. Gets the kill on Chorong, but the bot still needs to be pushed forward. There's still players playing up close. Someone down to half HP, just pushing Decay into the corner. Merit finds 2. Now he's occupying it and he's pushing it away. Birdring, can he do anything? The rail shot. He gets some. Overtime now going to be forced out, but the run back here from Boston Uprising, they need to get here quick. They have to stay on this one. The pushback could be everything. The window's available. RuPaul gonna try to get in a position to utilize this one, and they have to respect it.
Watch Bertring's ultimate. Bertring has to carry again. He's low. Bertring
Window
down.
comes in. Bertring gonna be taken down. Checkmate, able to get on top of him. Finds the elimination. Punch stun onto RuPaul. Does not matter. Someone finds him. Decay gets one, but they cannot stay on the bot. 3-1. The Florida Mayhem punch their ticket into the grand final.
They said it was their time. They said it was their year. And it's time to manifest destiny for the Florida Mayhem. 2023, they can smell it, they can taste it, they can touch it. The championship potentially within their grasp. A rematch in the finals. Florida versus Houston. And the Boston Uprising, they put up a very valiant effort here. 1 and 3, close maps across the board. But it's the MVP of someone, coach of the year Gumba, that pushed this pink team right into the final game.
Unbelievable scenes from the Florida Mayhem. But everybody, please give a round of applause, of course, to the Boston Uprising, who gave us an amazing series, put up an amazing fight. But unfortunately for this squad, it will not be them in the grand final, squaring off against the Outlaws once more. Florida Mayhem, they have taken over the storyline. They have been the favorites to win ever since we saw the crumbling of the Atlanta Reign. And they want to ride that all the way into the sunset, trophy in hand.
Tournament is open for them to take it through now. You see the man on your right on the screen, Chorong, our player of the match. On the Lucio, on the Brig. The difference maker. And for Florida Mayhem, first map, extremely one-sided. Boston Uprising still doing a little bit of experimenting with the Ram. Multiple frags coming through from Chorong. I mean, he's got up against Lee Jae-gon years ago when Chorong was a rookie coming to the league. I said, this guy is going to be the new Lee Jae-gon. Well, now he's defeated Lee Jae-gon, and he's going to be the guy in the finals instead.
And like they say, kill your heroes if you meet them. And Chorong, he has done just that. Unbelievable series. Fortunately, not going the distance, not giving us that full 5 that we so badly wanted to see, but exciting and close the entire way throughout. That one, I mean, a difference of 5 meters as we got to the end of Colosseo. This was very much a game of, I'll say, centimeters since we're in Toronto.
Exactly.
But damn, what a series from both of those squads. And I have to just say thank you to both of them for providing it.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to such small percentages. And I asked the question earlier, right, can they actually get that flip? And you rewind a few fights, Boston, they didn't go for that flip. And that might be something they think about a little bit more to haunt them in their dreams. Could it have been that one flip that changes the course of the entire map? Could have gone to a 5-mapper. They played it so close, 3 maps in a row. So damn close, I mean, wow.
An incredible series across the board. Thank you guys so much. This has been awesome for myself and Avril. It has been an absolute pleasure to be here in Toronto, to be on land and to cast alongside each other for the very first time. So thank you so much. We will see you in the future. Don't know where, don't know when, but for now, let's send it down to Danny Lim, whose job is not done because he's got RuPaul standing by for an interview.
Seth and Avril, thank you very much. What is up, everybody? I'm here standing next to RuPaul from Florida Mayhem for a quick chat before he goes on to his final match of the day. Now, RuPaul, this was a very close match, even despite the 3-1 victory. I mean, what gave Florida Mayhem the advantage against the Boston Uprising today?
I think for us, really, we're playing the best comp. Going into the playoffs, I think we did a lot of experimenting, and I think we came up with the best composition. And you can see even other teams like Houston, who we're going to be playing against, they copied us because they know that we play the best comp, and they couldn't figure out how to beat us, so they just copied us. And Boston, they didn't play our comp. Yeah. Obviously, they did very good with their own strat, which they're really good at the Junker Queen, which was a bit unexpected for us. It made the match a lot closer than I think it should have been, because we're really talented, and this match against Houston is not going to be close.
You guys definitely are talented. And talking about Houston, they are your final opponent for the grand finals. You beat them. You guys, Florida Mayhem, are going to be the champions. So talking about that, I remember Pelican, I had a quick chat with him after they won. And Pelican said if Houston goes up against Florida Mayhem one more time, he's certain that he could defeat you guys 4-0. He said that he will destroy the Florida Mayhem 4-0. Do you have anything you want to say to Pelican and Houston Outlaws?
Okay, all I know is Merritt is not going to be happy when he hears that, and he's going to have a fun time in the grand finals.
Thank you so much, everybody. Give it up for RuPaul one more time. That is it. Dusk, back to you.
둠치면 돼.
우리 윈도 있다. 웨이브 윈도. 네, 오늘 ready? Keep push. 3, 2, 1.
바티.
네번 매치. 네번 매치. Come back.
겐질로 실패.
And that's how they got it done. Florida Mayhem is going to join the Houston Outlaws in the grand finals of the Overwatch League 2023 season. And I'm now joined by Jake and Johnny to break down all the action we just got to saw. Danny already said it as he was on stage. This was a lot closer of a match than the score would suggest. Let's talk about why it was such a close match. RuPaul in the interview talked about the compositions, calling the Houston Outlaws out for being a little copycat there. But Boston Uprising, they rocked up with the Jungle Queen, and honestly, they played it close with that.
Yeah, I think the Boston Uprising here, they came out with a lot of different ingredients here, Jake. And, as RuPaul mentioned, the Jungle Queen was a big factor in that, something that could really drive Florida Mayhem to the edge when it came to the Sigma composition. It forced Florida Mayhem's hand quite a bit, but also the May pick, Jake. I mean, the May pick was just brilliant from the Florida Mayhem to really stop Boston Uprising in their track. And so starting with that flashpoint win, going on to push, it felt like Mayhem just had Boston Uprising figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but for me, it's just like Boston are forcing their will on this match. I agree with RuPaul. I think they do have the better comp there, but how incredibly close Boston kept that series speaks to their individual potential. I mean, Smurf, so many insane plays. It's lucky, honestly, for the Florida Mayhem that they have a player like Chorong able to stop him from time to time, because they were constantly making fights work with this Queen comp, even though I think that's very difficult to do against what the Mayhem were fielding. So I'm very impressed with the Boston Uprising. I think they can be very proud of how close they came. But I think we've got the right grand final here. I think these are the two best teams in the tournament. Florida Mayhem, strategically unparalleled, and their individual playmaking was top-notch in this match.
And it also has been an incredible story now for Florida Mayhem here in the playoffs, and the opponents they've had to take down. So it, of course, started off with that Houston Outlaws match, right, that we're going to see now in the grand finals. So the Florida Mayhem, we talked about them, they're the rising stars of these tournaments, with a lot of younger players coming in that haven't had this long career, right? You take down the Houston Outlaws, Shu, Violet, Fearless is on that roster. You take down the reigning champions, Dallas Fuel, of course, Hanbin leading the charge of that team with Sparkle and Edison. And then now here, Boston Uprising, you take the Lee Jae-gon and Isayaki, the legendary duo from the Shanghai Dragons, Smurf, the two-time champion, and Florida Mayhem set themselves up for a fantastic grand final in a repeat match against the Houston Outlaws. This has been a Cinderella story from the Florida Mayhem. And this season, with someone winning MVP as well, can they finally claim that championship trophy for themselves?
It's a fantastic performance, of course, from both of those teams. Boston Uprising, they now still have a shot at getting the third place at least, but they do have to take down the Hangzhou Spark. Not going to be an easy feat either, because that has been an explosive team throughout the playoffs thus far. It's been absolutely phenomenal to see both those teams popping up once more. Let's take a look at the bracket to see how we got here. Spark and Outlaws went to bats earlier on, and the Outlaws convincingly took that series and found themselves in the grand final, where they now will be facing off against the Florida Mayhem. It's going to be a rematch. The first time those two teams fought against each other in this postseason. It's not looked too great for the Houston Outlaws. So the big question is, what have they learned from that first match?
That is a big question, right? The Houston Outlaws, they struggle in that first match, but I feel like as every day has progressed here in the playoffs, we've learned more and more. It started off right, and we're like, oh, well, it's going to be a Saria meta. Turns out Dallas Fuel weren't so lucky after all. It wasn't a Saria meta. Florida Mayhem brought out the Sigma composition, Boston Uprising, the way they've countered Reinhardt. We've seen Doomfist brought into the mix. It really does feel like every single day the meta has evolved to the point now where, yeah, we have two teams that might come out playing the Sigma, but will Florida Mayhem bring out the Reinhardt like they did against the Dallas Fuel? And how will possibly the Houston Outlaws respond to Florida Mayhem's Reinhardt and Sigma compositions, right? It really does feel like it's two different teams that will take the stage later today. It won't be the same ones that faced off in day one.
Absolutely. And I love you steering the pot down there, you know, trying to stir up the emotions between Pelican and RuPaul. Merritt got dragged into it, like just catching some strays. So I love to see that. They are very confident, though.
I think both teams are very confident. And yeah, sure, this is sort of a rematch because, I mean, last time we saw them was Florida Mayhem getting the win. But like Johnny said, I think Houston Outlaws, they figured out what they want to play. And I think skill-wise, they're very close as well. So I think it is going to be that confidence level. That's the deciding factor for who gets the win.
Right, who wants it more? We'll find out very soon. For now, we are heading into a very quick break. And afterwards, we're going to have an exclusive deep dive into the newest control map, Samoa, and of course, the long-awaited show match. So stick around. Ooh.